This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, Dashna.
Hi.
Okay, let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get chance to practice
Yes.
any Let
Yeah.
me give you presenter. So can you show me?
Yes. I did
Yeah.
arrays, array number and um, so most of it's commented, but this is what I have. So I did number, I did array methods, and I did string methods.
Okay. Any questions on this? By
Um,
any chance?
I no, it actually was pretty easy. Um,
Really?
only
Okay.
thing is like, is there a name for, let's say, like, is there, I guess, a pattern when it comes to knowing where to put the like these?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a what do you call a replacement, right?
Mm. So it is a property name, variable, right? The phone
Yeah,
number what you selected. Hmm.
yeah. So how do you?
But yeah, as you said, like placeholder, but we are not supposed to call it as a placeholder. Definitely,
Hmm.
it should be variable, or maybe the other word that we can take as a property.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And all that took time for me was this one. I forgot to put the comma before, so I thought,
Okay.
but then I figured it out,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and yeah, I think everything made sense.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is today. So today, I'll just start the jQuery part and how exactly jQuery is going to work, and we'll
Mhm.
mix both of them
Yeah,
because when you're talking about jQuery, it is not something a new language, right? So if you remember one of my statement previously, so on top of it, JavaScript itself, people has invented more frameworks or libraries. So in the list, of course, jQuery is also one of the part, and which comes very early when compared with all the new frameworks or libraries which are available in the market, right?
mm.
These are all came like just 5 years and probably 6 years back, mostly 7 years back maximum. But jQuery was there, it was like from 2010 itself. It was the only option that do all this stuff.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah, one more
so
question. For commenting,
mhm.
is there a way to do all of them at the same time? Because I had to do like slash each time.
Okay, so there will be like in JavaScript when it comes to instead of doing that one I mean that slash.
Yeah.
I think we can use, and I know like this is the only option, but let us try how CSS comment whether works for it or not.
Okay. Because doing each one was time consuming.
No, but you no need to do each and every one. There will be like shortcut key that really helps you to comment all the things at a time.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can use the CSS commenters as well here.
Okay, that makes it easy.
Yeah, yeah. And there will be a shortcut key when you use the Visual Studio Code. You whatever the lines that you want to comment or whatever the function that you want to comment, just select that enter function and use that Control K C,
Okay, see? Okay.
Control plus K plus C for comment. And if you
Mm.
want to do that uncomment, Control K U. U stands for uncomment for.
Mm, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I will do now. First, let me share my screen quickly. Okay, let me open this jQuery.com or exactly, yeah, jQuery.com only. And if you see that jQuery, what exactly it is showing, if you read this, okay, you will get some idea like, what is jQuery? jQuery is a fast, small, and feature-rich JavaScript library.
Mm.
Excuse me. So try to understand that, what exactly mean by library. Okay, and it make things like HTML document traversal and manipulation. So traversal, what exactly meaning of the traversal is in the sense, you remember when we were discussing that, DOM, document object model, right?
Yeah.
And we discussed that, there is a DOM tree. So whatever the elements that we've been used in the HTML, so when it comes to browser, it will form a tree from the starting HTML element to till that HTML close element. So
Mm.
everything will be formed as a tree. So when you want to operate something from top to bottom or bottom to top, the procedure, the process is called a traversing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. And manipulation, manipulation, we
Yeah.
did that. We can add the elements straight away dynamically. We can add the element using with JavaScript, and we can change the content within the HTML element, and we can pass the values, we can get the values, we can do everything. Manipulation in the
Mm.
sense, mainly DOM manipulations. And of course, event handling, what is meant by event handling, right? See, whenever there is a button, and whenever you click on that button, so in general words, what you were thinking that, you were just clicking that button, and no, some output you are getting. But that behind screen and that actual terminology is that when you click on that button, one event is going to be triggered.
Mm.
Okay, an event is going to be triggered. So that event can be like, button, or on blur or focus, whatever it is. And of course, animation and Ajax, much simpler with an easy to use API that work across multiple of browsers with a combination of versatility and extensibility. jQuery has changed the way that millions of people write JavaScript. Okay, now
Mm.
how we gonna use that? jQuery is the main point that. So if you want to use JavaScript, so you don't need to use anything. Straight away you can write that script tag and whatever the JS file that you want to use in the HTML. First, what you have to do is you have to create the file, app.js file, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
create this file, and whatever you want to write based on your requirement, you can write a JavaScript code here. Okay, but when it comes to jQuery, it is not a language, separate language. It is a library which is built on top of JavaScript. So we must use that entire library into our HTML file. So now you have an option like, download jQuery. Click on that. So you can check lot of things are there. At the same time, CDNs also. You remember CDN we did for a font awesome,
Yeah.
bootstrap,
Yeah.
for up, yeah. In the same way, we can also use CDNs. Let us say that this is the CDN, and I told you like, what exactly difference between this min and without min.
Yeah.
You remember it?
Yes. It min
Yeah.
is compressed to
Yes. Yeah.
take less
So
data.
what we have to do is we have to use the CDN. If you want to use the CDN, yes, you can use the CDN, and the same CDN you have to put in your HTML page like this. Before you are doing all this stuff, what you have to do is you have to first check that whether this link is working fine or not. This is the first thing that we have to do whenever we use CDNs. Yes, now see,
Mm.
you are not able to understand anything right here,
Yeah.
because it is a minified version. You can't even able to understand. But when there is no min and when it is a pure jQuery, at least it has some readability, and you can see some function names here. and
Yes.
variables, right? Array that push index of to string, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has bit readability that you can able to see that what exactly they have been used, whether you are aware of it or not. See if else conditions, of course, for loop, for in actually, and else if, right? So this
Mm-hmm.
is a pure JavaScript code only, okay? But they made everything, no, all the whatever the required things that we need. So jQuery team has put everything together and they released as a library. Now we'll discuss what exactly use that we have using with the jQuery. I think this one, right? Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, could I have
So
1 minute?
now,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, sorry.
no issue.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, fine. Okay. So what exactly use of that jQuery, and what jQuery is going to do for us? So instead of straight away checking official website, we'll find something like jQuery examples. Yeah, we'll take this one. We'll take that basic example here. Okay. So now we'll see one basic requirement. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
requirement is I'll show you. First of all, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a button, type equal to button, and id equal to something btn button, and we have text like click. And when it comes to other element, I'm going to place a div here. I'm going to add one class box. For that box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an internal style sheet because it is a temporary thing. Okay, so width, very common properties that I'm going to use here, with 100 pixels, height 100 pixels, and background color. So whenever you get it out, you can ask me. Okay, Dashna,
Yeah, okay.
you there? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have a box, we have a button. Okay, now let us open the script here. Yeah. So Dashna, can you please mute yourself? I'm
Yeah,
getting
sorry.
some noise. Yeah, fine, no issue. So now our requirement is, when I click on this click, okay, when I click on this click, but I mean when I click on this button, this element should be hide. Okay, probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more button. So I'll add this show and hide, and the same IDs only I'm going to use here. So now our requirement is, so by default it is show, and if I click on hide, this has to be hide, and again when I click on show, it has to be come. So this is the requirement. Now I'll try to do the same output using with JavaScript and at the same time using with jQuery. Okay, because we can build the same output, and then only you can able to understand that how easy or difficult it is jQuery or any of the JavaScript libraries or frameworks. Okay, so there are a lot of ways that we have. So what I'm going to do here is, so first we need the click events, right? So what I'm going to do first, function show, because
Mm.
I need a one function should call for a show, and function hide.
Okay.
Okay, so now first of all what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this box. Okay, for this box also I'm going to add that one ID. ID is um, color box. Okay, so what
Mm.
I'm going to do here for this color box, first what I will going to do is I'm going to take one variable, let box is equal to document dot get element by ID is color
Colors.
box.
Mm.
So now what I'm going to get is I'm going to get that box here. Okay, so now when I click on show, okay, what I need, so if the box is already in a hidden view, so that I can, when I click on show, it will come. So in simple terms what I'm going to do is box dot style dot display equal to, I think don't remember, display equal to
Um,
block. Let us see, if it is not working, then we'll ask GPT or some
is
other.
that is that similar to um, Flexbox or something?
No, I'm not using anything. I'm not using anything. Okay, so first let us see that if I click on hide, what is going to be happen, or if any issue come in the console, because it's been a very long time that I'm using JavaScript now. But let us see, if I click on hide, my expectation is it has to be hide. Okay, nothing is happening. So why nothing is happening? Because we return functions, but we did not utilize those functions. Okay,
Mm.
so now what I'm going to do here is on click function, we can use the function like show on click hide, and let us see now. When I click on hide, yes, it is working, and when I click on show, it is working. Hide, show, hide, show, right?
Mm.
There is no much logics here. Simple thing only we have. We took like two functions and try to understand one thing here. If I create this variable within this box, this will give a error,
Why?
because why? Because the box scope is limited here, because I am creating a variable within the show function only. So this variable, so this box variable will be reused within this function only. So when it comes to here, this hide function don't know what exactly meant by box. You're getting my point?
Wait, can
Now
you
also,
repeat?
now you can check that.
Mm.
Yes, now we'll check that. If I click on hide, what exactly it is showing? It is giving an error. Uncaught reference error. Box is not defined. Did we define box? Yes, we defined, but where
Yeah.
we defined? We
Oh,
defined within
inside
the
the.
show only.
Got it.
Got it? So the
Yeah.
box limitation is within this show function only. So this is called, we can call it as a local scope or global scope. When you put this outside, now everything is able to access this box, so it is a global scope. But when you restrict it to within a function, it will be like a local scope only.
Mm.
While you're practicing, make sure to check all these points,
Okay.
right? So by default itself we can make box as a display none also. So for that we don't need JavaScript. We can simply make this display none. We can make here. So now also you won't be able to see by default. Now if I click on show, it comes, and click on hide, it goes.
Mm.
Make sense? By default also it should not, because when you are seeing by default and making showing show button is meaningless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you click on show, it will come, and when you click on hide, it will be hide. See, this is a simple example only that I'm giving, that we have making this box dot style and all of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing, we can build the same thing using with JavaScript also. So now within this show itself, what I'm going to do, instead of writing this all this text on all, what I'm going to do is, first, the way I'm taking this, right, document.getElement by ID color box. This is pure JavaScript. Okay, this is pure JavaScript. I will take this in a different way. Like if I use the jQuery, you can take any examples of jQuery here. So document dot ready function. Let us say, let's copy this. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. So what we are going to do is document dot ready function. Document dot ready in the sense, it has to be whatever you are going to write within this function, it has to be visible, or it has to be execute once the document is ready. Document in the sense what? The entire DOM tree only.
Mm. Can you
Okay,
explain?
document in the sense. See, you remember this document and this document both are same. If you remember, when I'm explaining that document in the console also, I placed this document, right? What
Mm.
exactly is coming? When you click on document, the entire thing is coming, right?
Yeah.
Entire HTML code is coming. When you when you are looking that Word document, you should understand that it is a complete HTML code. That is the
Mm.
reason we are writing that a document dot get element by ID. So within this entire document only, we are getting that element using by ID. That is JavaScript related code. But when it comes to jQuery, we are straight away writing that document dot ready. So if this document is ready, then execute whatever you have written here.
Mm.
Okay, whatever you
Okay.
want to write, you can write it here.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so if you, I mean, I'll try to still find out that how about this. I mm, no, this won't work. This won't work. Okay, so how simply we can write, it is mm, dollar is a very mandatory thing here for jQuery. We can write something like this. Instead of that, we can use the functions also, right? Let us see. Is it going to be working this way? Dollar color box dot show. I don't know whether it is going to be work or not, but let us see. Hide. In such a case, we don't need this, and we don't need this too, if I'm not wrong. Let us check this. No, it is not working. How to create function in jQuery? In jQuery. But it is correct only. It is throwing error. Hmm. Why it is throwing error here? So basic color box hash. Let's check now. No color box. Same like color box. Yeah. Yes, there is a spelling mistake. So now, if you see the difference between previous and now, okay. Instead of that, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable this here and there. Vanilla, JavaScript, jQuery. Copy this. Yeah, this is pure JavaScript, Krishna.
Hmm.
Okay, so how many lines that you are using? So of course we don't need this as well here. Here also you don't need. Okay, this is pure JavaScript and this is jQuery. To
Hmm.
show or to hide, we are depending on some CSS related stuff. But when it comes to jQuery, we really no need to do. So we have a direct method of show to
Hmm.
show, which is this one, style.display equal to black. At the same time, to hide it, we have a CSS property display none. But when we are using jQuery, we don't need to write all this stuff. Simply, we can write hide only. And if you observe one more thing here, this is a straight away selector. How we are actually storing this box, right? So what we are doing in this line number two, we are storing one element which where the element has color box ID. So there is an element and element has that color box ID, and that element only we are storing to box, and after that we are just making that adding styles and all to this box. But
Hmm.
when it comes to jQuery, this is a straight away selector. We no need to do that document dot get element by ID color box.
Okay.
You're getting, so whenever you take the dollar of hash color box, why we use this hash? Because you remember whenever we even when you learning
ID.
CSS
Yeah.
initial selectors, we used hash.
Mm-hmm.
Now if instead of that ID, I can use class here also. Here I can use class also.
Then
Okay.
you would just do
Now,
that.
yes, dot box. Straight away now it is going to be when I use dollar of dot box, it is a wherever that box is there, that element straight away it is going to be get. But when it comes to pure JavaScript, we need to write. If it is ID, we need to write something like this. Or else if it is a box, right? How we need to get this? Let box let box equal to document dot get element by class name. See, we have a class name, right? Class name, and now we need to write that box, not out inside outside. Yeah, see, this is a vanilla JavaScript. We need to write something like this to get the element. But how easy it is in the jQuery, straight away dollar of whatever the element it is, whether it is a class selector or ID selector, we can straight away use, and whatever the properties that we want, I mean based on our requirement, we can use those methods.
Hmm.
You're getting or
Yes,
not?
I am.
Okay, see, yeah, see, what you have to understand in this statement, right? We
Mm-hmm.
are we are getting same output, but we are using less code only.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
when do
we
you
are
know? Oh, so you're saying it's better to focus on functions?
no, not exactly functions. What you have to understand here, all these methods. There are a lot of methods in what you say jQuery.
Okay.
Okay, it has a lot of methods, right? That as I show you that one of the example to make that okay, now we'll use one thing like we'll use the fade in. Okay, now I will use fade in instead of show hide. I'm going to use fade in here. Okay,
Mhm.
fade in. Let me revert to this to. So you understand this, so I can remove this code, right?
Yeah.
Or you want me to
Mm,
keep this?
it's okay.
Okay,
I don't need it. Yeah.
yeah. So let me use the same color box here also because we stick with this, and I'm just reverting here and here and there instead of show hide. Now let first see whether it is working fine or not in a correct way or not. Yeah, show hide is coming. So now fade in and again fade in here also. Let us see how it is going to be work. Did you observe that anything?
Can you show again?
When I click on show, it is coming she.
Oh, it's wait.
There
Yeah.
is some yeah. But when we click that hide, I think we have to use something else for hide. I think fade out we have, I guess.
But, yeah.
No, no. Fade out,
Yes.
yeah, fade out we have. We will use fade out. Copy this and use fade out. Now check this. When I am clicking that show, it is coming, and when I click hiding, just a
Mm,
fade effect, right? Within that
yeah.
fade effect also we can operate that numbers like 300
For the speed.
or 300. Yes.
Okay.
Let's reload this. Show hide the smooth effect.
Mm,
Okay. Instead of that, so to get this fade in and fade out using with JavaScript is it difficult. Even if you simply search in Google also JavaScript fade in, yeah, fade in fade out without jQuery. Fade in fade out without jQuery and CSS. Great. Nice thing. People are looking for this. Yeah. See, this is the code. Okay. How much code it is to make fade in and fade out? Lot of code, right?
yeah.
But still they use style, opacity, filter, display, visibility, and all. But when you use
Mm,
jQuery, do you think you need to write all of them?
no.
Yeah,
Just me.
that is a
Yeah.
simple thing. Yeah. So because jQuery is providing us these methods like fade in and fade out methods by default because it is a library, everything will be there. But what you have to do is whenever you want to work on jQuery, make sure to add the jQuery into your document. Otherwise, if there is no jQuery file, straight away it shows an error.
Mm,
Reference error dollar is not defined. If you look at this, we use dollar here. Dollar is not defined because without this jQuery file, there is no value for a dollar. When you're seeing something related to dollar, that means in the old applications, definitely they use jQuery.
mm,
Clear?
yes.
Any question? And at least you understand like what exactly the difference between JavaScript and jQuery.
Yeah, it's sort of like bootstrap to HTML.
You are right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to put that in a jQuery to HTML, and what is your requirement? Then actual point will come. So you can write based on your requirements. Okay, there are a lot of examples in jQuery, lot of methods. So all these methods, even though you will get this in API document itself. Here also you can get it this. let us say hide. If you check that hide, yeah, see, fade out,
Mm.
fade in, and each and every option that fade toggle. Okay, so how toggle will work, I'll show you now. Now show comma hide, I'm going to use only one. I'm going to comment this, and the function name I'll keep this show only. Instead of fade in, I'm going to do that toggle. And now come to this, click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this. This is the toggle in the sense, same light you are using, your on and off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to switch on light, or I mean, if you click for example, if you want to switch on fan, okay, definitely you will click on switch, right? To
Yeah.
off the fan, you don't need to go for some other place and click on another switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so toggle means that the same I mean, action will be multiple, but event will be same,
Okay.
like this. Yeah. So
Um.
now instead of that plain toggle, we can use that fade toggle also. So that it will
Mm.
be like we can add that numbers here, or we can add like slow or something like this. Now we'll use fade toggle here. Sorry, fade toggle. We make sure to properly write that slow. Save this and check here. Did you observe anything?
It's
The same
yeah.
button only
Yeah.
working for show and hide, and we use that toggle. I mean fade effect, and we passed that method value as a slow only.
Mm.
To make this effect using with JavaScript is hell,
Yeah.
because it took a lot of time. Because it took a lot of time, and you have to write all of them in your own, and make sure whatever you have written, it has to be work in all the browsers.
Mm.
So many complications. But when it comes to jQuery itself, you no need to worry about it, because jQuery itself, when you check that first page, cross browser,
But how do you search
Chrome,
for
Edge, Firefox. Sorry.
like do you have to download anything? Because I see there's a download button.
Yeah, no, no, no. I didn't download it. You can download it also. Now you can click on this. Now you will get this. Just save this, and in
Mm-hmm.
local file you will get min file, and put that file in your JS folder. Boom, the file already downloaded. Now you can check here also. You can see jQuery
Yeah.
3.7.1 minimum
Okay.
minified version. So instead of that CDN, you can use local also. Now I'm going to remove that CDN here.
Mm-hmm. Which one's better? Because isn't it better to always do local?
No, no, no. See, the question will come for same for all the features that you are using CDN. So it will come. The same question will come for a Bootstrap. The same question will come for Google Font. Same question will come for Font Awesome. Same question will come for jQuery also.
Yeah.
Which one is the better to use, like CDN or saving file into the local? So,
Local.
and if you remember, I have explained the differences, the advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right? See,
Mm.
the advantage is that first, mainly the advantage that uh, whenever you use the CDN, so there will be, let us say example where exactly this file is coming, ajax.googleapis.com something. So it is not coming loading from your website. Point number one. Point number two, whenever your page is getting loaded, by that time, definitely if it is a trusted website, definitely it will come very quickly. It is
Mm-hmm.
not something come loading from your server, so there will be no loading issue for sure. It will come quickly, it will load quickly. That definitely, that is an advantage. But what is the disadvantage? That, right, you
Yeah.
make sure to that you have to check that whether the link is working fine or not. And
Yeah.
whenever you use that CDN, the second thing, it will work only if the internet is working,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I
Of course, these
remember.
are two are the main disadvantages.
Mm.
Yes. But when it comes to advantage, yes. So this is not coming from your server. There is no dependency. It will straight away come. Even though your website is not loading, this URL will come for sure. But obviously, as long as your website is not working, you're not able to see anything. But yeah, the question will come for for all the features, whatever
Mm.
we are using the CDN prospective view.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So instead of this local, still you can use that local JSON sorry JavaScript file also, like JS slash, and it will ask this is the file name, and now you can check that still you will get the same output, because earlier that when you used CDN, now you are using that local file. There will be no change within
Mm.
this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all these things, when you click on the API documents, you will get in a lot of stuff here. There are a lot of options, like let us say that add class. Now you can check that in an add class. We can add a class dynamically. Dynamically in the sense,
Mm-hmm.
now I'll show you something to you. I'll show you something to you. Now we have a box right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do here is, when I click on this button, okay, I'm changing this to add class, and let me change the function name add class. Now for this color box, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use that method of add class, and I'm going to add a class name as slow. Okay,
Mm.
now check it. Now you won't see, for this div only we are going to add class, right? But
Yeah.
for this div we have already a class called box. Now we can check in the output. Just reload this page, and you can check inspect element also here. And whenever you see this div, there is no other class, only one class that we have as a box. In the code also we have verified, in the output also now we can see, right? But now
Mm-hmm.
when you click on this, what you see here, slow class been added. Of course we use the display none, right? So obviously you are not going to get this, but here is the thing, you should focus on this, right? Slow
Yeah.
class been added, but when you check your code, do you see slow here?
No.
This is what dynamic. So dynamic in the sense, something you are not written in your code as a static values. Something is uh, adding or removing, all this stuff is happening based on the events,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
now in the same way we can create the element also. You can create a one more element. You can add
Mm.
a class, you can remove the class. This is all called manipulation. You can do all the CRUD operation in the sense, you can create the element, you can read the elements, you can update the element, you can delete the element.
Mm.
Now we can remove this. Now we can remove this box also. Now let us say that. Okay. Now after this, click on this. Instead of this add class, I can add that in a remove class. Now what I'm going to do is box. But let me add the slow here, and now I want to remove slow only. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now reload this page and check this box only, because slow is already there, and when I click on this button, slow has to be removed. Slow class will be removed. See,
Yeah.
right? We are manipulating the elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the same way, there are a lot of methods, add class, remove class, and we are not going to use all of them, but yeah, we have them, like very important. Of course, important in the sense, in case if you place it in a project where it is a legacy, it was using last 15 years or 20 years, and they are not interested to update to new technology, and they are using jQuery. All this scenario only it will work.
Mm.
Otherwise, in real time, when you place in any of the like in a new company or new projects or something, nobody will interest to use a jQuery, because the problem still, there is a problem with the jQuery. I'll
Okay.
explain that, that architecture way, how why people are not using jQuery nowadays, why they are very much interested to looking new frameworks or libraries like Angular, React, and Vue. Okay, in simple terms I'll explain, then you can understand why still people are not using the jQuery. Okay, so now the point is, let us say there is a word called spa.
Mm.
Okay, spa is since not something that no massage
Relax.
spa
Yeah.
or Ayurvedic. This is spa means single page application.
Mm. Okay.
Single page application in the sense, let us say now you are in this page, and whenever you click on this Ajax start complete, let us say click on this. Now what is happening? The page is loading, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to spa, right, it won't load like that.
Why?
Okay,
Mm.
yeah, I'll tell you some example to you. Okay, so now this is my mail ID, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to see something like somewhat related to this Quora, and you make sure to check that whether this page is loading or not. Is this
Mm.
page is loading when I'm clicking on this, all of them? And when I click on this promotion, is this page is loading? When I click on social, is that page is loading?
Yeah.
When I check something here, like all the spam, is this page is loading really?
Mm.
Did you verify? Did you verify that
Yeah.
page is loading?
Yes.
Loading really?
Wait,
Now how
it's
can
not,
you
it's not loading, but it's. I thought you meant the in like the
no, page
email.
is not actually reloading, and I mean to say loading in the sense, page is not completely reloading. Like okay, I'll
Oh,
show again. I'll go back to that
yeah.
previously.
On
So
top
now
it's
if I want to click on this jQuery, okay, now
like.
see,
Mhm.
it is loaded, right? It is
Yeah.
loaded and it came to this. You can check this icon also here. Let us say example. I want to click the JPA documentation. It is loading, right? Page is reloading,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it is taking. But when it comes to this, did you check that? Anything
Yes.
is loading here.
No.
No, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is single page application, SPA.
Oh, okay.
But the point is, everything is there in the same way how jQuery this website is built. In the same way, this is also built. But the point is, when you use SPA, obviously it has a lot of reach. See, you are not actually, no need to load an entire page again and again and again.
Mm.
Make sense? So
Yeah.
now, how usually the layouts will be, right? Like Miss Paint. Let us say that you have a header and you have a footer, and there is a content in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it is a no, there is no spy involved in this, let's assume. Now whenever you click something, obviously what is going to be happen, again a new page will load, and again your header is going to load and your footer is going to load, along with your content also will get loaded with a non-spa architecture. But with a SPA single page application, your header and footer will remain same as it is, and only in between content only will be updated. Then you
Mm.
can feel it that everything is there and you are not going somewhere. That is the reason that if you observe jQuery, it has a lot of navigation.
Mm.
Okay, but it is not. See, if you observe this left side nav and this top header and all, right, they are not reloading and they are not loading multiple times. They are loading only
Mm.
one time, and in between this content only updating, right?
Okay.
That is the one thing.
So
Yeah. And
it's
second thing is,
it's less work.
tell
It
me,
doesn't have to load everything, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that is the one reason that now everybody is interested to put the spas under single page
Mm.
applications. That is the one reason people are shifting from legacy content, legacy technologies to new technology. I mean new frameworks or libraries. And the second reason is code readability. So let us say that example, when you click on this, so what is going to happen behind that? So the request will go from front end to server only related to this request, not everything, right? And when you
Mm-hmm.
write a code also, what is going to be happen in either JavaScript or jQuery? We have to put everything within the HTML page only. There will be definitely there will be a script for sure, okay, and the script file you have to include in HTML, and your HTML code will be mixed with JavaScript and jQuery and HTML. But
Okay.
when we are talking about Angular, let us say example Angular, there will be code will be not like that. In Angular, if you look at any of the Angular application, all the HTML files for each and every component. Okay, when it comes to okay, where is this point? Yeah, how? Okay, we'll take this example. This one. When you see this, right, how Angular application will be, everything we can consider as a component. So this is the sidebar component, this is the header component, this is a footer component, and this is going to be some other component. We need to divide, we have to divide multiple components in the
Mm.
Angular. But when it comes to normal JavaScript and jQuery, it will be entire page is same. You have to keep that the sidebar within your index.html only, and the same sidebar will be reopened or will be reloaded when you go for another page. And
Yeah.
there is no code readability when you are mixing all of them together. But when I'm explaining that the concept of readability when it comes to Angular, this is the one component, sidebar component. And if you look at the sidebar component, the HTML page is separate and the CSS page is separate to only this component, and related JavaScript or TypeScript code separately only to this component. So for each and every component, you will get a three files. One is CSS, one is HTML, one is for TypeScript. TypeScript is nothing for JavaScript. You can assume in that way. You can understand in that way. So there is a clear readability that whenever you are working on .html, you don't need to think about what you have written or what you are going to return in the TypeScript file. It will be pure HTML code only. And when it comes to CSS, it is a pure CSS. And when it comes to JavaScript, it will be only JavaScript. There will be no mixing.
Mm.
But when you use either JavaScript or jQuery, you have to write it,
Okay.
right? But the advantage that we have with the jQuery when compared with JavaScript, of course, you are not going to get all this pass and components code readability, but still you can reduce the code. Even though you are using the same approach, if you need some effects or if you need some required things, you no need to write a bunch of code.
Mm.
Compared with JavaScript, you can write little amount of code only using with jQuery.
Wait, so is React like jQuery or something else?
No, that is separate. That is also JavaScript framework only. Okay,
Okay.
now we'll see. Not framework, library only. We'll
Okay.
check that in React.
Mm.
Okay, React is the library for web and native user interface, built user interface out of individual pieces called components written in what?
JavaScript.
Yes. So React is a library. It written in JavaScript only. Like,
Mm.
see, to get this output, how easy for us, right, to show, hide, and all, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do all this stuff in React, it will be obviously very easy compared to this. Obviously the line of code will be less, and when you're operating and when you're building in a large scale of applications, it will be very easy. But imagine a large scale of application and so many pages and so many functionalities, and clubbing functional code and HTML code and logical code, everything together. And if there is an issue, how difficult it is to find and debug for a large scale of applications, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now if you deal with the same thing, either Angular or React or any of the new frameworks which are coming in, so if you use them, then it will be easy. You can easily divide that by module wise, separate module, and components wise, and each and individual file, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the reason that and of course the spare performance. You can check that whenever you are checking this page, jQuery thing, right? So obviously it takes time. Whenever you click on this, it is taking time. Now nowadays people are not interested to see that much. Now why this much of code also is this page is coming very speed, because there is no image content here. Everything is a pure text.
Hmm.
So that is the reason it is coming. Like imagine if there are multiple images, obviously this will take some time to load and all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is what I mean. There are a lot of things when it comes to API documentation, lot of options that we have. But I mean, as long as you are comfortable in JavaScript, I would definitely suggest learn any of the new frameworks, either Angular, or maybe if you can learn library as React or anything is fine.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Which
Yeah.
one would you
So
suggest?
yeah, I would suggest. Uh, I would suggest based on the. I mean, if see, recently I saw an article, right? See, the thing is, whenever you are choosing a framework, first you have to. I mean, what are the common things that if you choose something, what are the common points that we are going to make a note of it? Like, let us say example of React. Okay, I heard from you only in one of the call that you said your friends suggested you to learn React.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what is the purpose? What is the reason behind it? Maybe React has a good market in the outside, or
Mm-hmm.
having like providing or paying good salaries and hikes.
Mm.
But as long as you go with all these points, that is not the right way to do it.
Okay.
Okay, that is
Mm-hmm.
not the right way to do it. So you should first check all the frameworks. You can work on sometime, you can spend some architect how the architecture of Angular, and you can check that on how the architecture of React, or you can check how the architecture of Vue.js. Don't go in the same when how people are going and running in the way. As you have some time now, of course if you don't have a time, I'm not sure, but how important it is for you to get the immediate job, or you have some time or not. But if you think that you have some time, just explore them and then pick one of them. Don't
Mm.
pick that because of that it has a nice market, or Sai suggested, or one of my friends suggested, or it has like a lot of openings, or not like that. And
Okay.
if you say that you don't have a time, obviously we have to find out on which technology or which framework or which library most of the jobs are there.
Mm.
Because as we need money, we need a job, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So in such a case, we have to pick based on the market standards only.
Okay.
Yeah. Because whenever you go with the market standards or hikes, you won't get a passion actually. You're getting
Mm.
my point.
Yeah, that's
You will
true.
just only think that okay, no, I have to learn React, because of that there is some job is waiting for me.
Yeah.
Or my friend suggested if you learn JavaScript, React JS, I'll give some reference.
Mm.
Yeah, but definitely there will be no passion and there will be no much interest. Your always focus will be okay, complete this course and let's join in any of them. You won't get that actual contest.
Mm.
But if you time, take my suggestion and explore them. If you think that you don't have time and you are in rush, yeah, you'll pick any one of the JavaScript based on the trends which is, I mean, there in US. But right now in India and US also, when compared with Angular, React is growing fast.
Mm.
comparatively. And we still, yeah, we can check that trends as well. Google Trends, we can check Google Trends. Angular. We can check India, not India, USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
United United States only, right?
Yeah.
You can check that 2000 past 12 months, all categories, web search, and another one is compare for React JS.
Mm. Reactors.
Looks like no, looks like
Oh,
it is React JS. Is that something?
yeah.
Computer program, okay, React computer program. We'll try this React in this way, we'll see. Now you
Mm.
got actual output, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see how it is 33 and 82 on an average. We can check one more thing, Vue.js as well. Vue.js, Vue.js is the topic. Yeah, we also there now. Now if you go with India, in India also same. And you can still compare that, when it comes to React, and you can see, all the state wise also you will get.
Mm.
Result is in Hyderabad where I am staying at, React is bit, 16% is higher than Angular.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Tamil Nadu also same, in Maharashtra, Mumbai, yeah, now people are interested to work on React. Because the advantage that with React is right now they are not using actual React.
Meaning?
Okay, I mean React they are they React they are using, even though when you only focus on React also there will be new frameworks being added to React. React
Mm.
itself is a framework. React itself is a framework, but to summarize or to make React easier, there are other frameworks being added, like Next.js, or Remix, or all this stuff, which is
Mm.
made that procedure very easy when you pick the framework as a React. And the other advantage that you have when you learn React, you can learn React native also, which helps to create a mobile applications. When React only for a web application, but when it comes to React native, you can build a mobile applications,
Mm.
right? So you
Yeah.
can go in that way. You can go in that way.
Okay.
And we don't know, like, if all of a sudden Angular 17 has been released recently, like just 15 days or maybe one month back probably. So people are saying that, there are new features being added in Angular, but not sure, like maybe after 3 months or after 6 months, maybe the scope will increase more. But it will be a very difficult to deal with React, but definitely the scope will be increased more, sure. Like right now,
Mm.
if you see this, like 4157, maybe the new features and all, I mean, in the new version, if the features and all released, right? So the scope will be increased from 41 to maybe 49 or 50.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, that will definitely happen for sure.
Okay.
Okay, but what you have to do is, you just understand that, how many there are lot of methods which are there in, jQuery. Okay, but whatever the options that I took here is, simple examples. In a slide also we have, like, let us see, I'll show you, like, how slide will work. Now if I click on this, see
Mm.
how slide
Like
come,
what was it called?
like accordion, right?
Yeah, accordion. Yeah.
Collapse. Yeah, yeah. So for that we have slide down is there in jQuery,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this way, there are a lot of methods you can use. You can ask GPT or you can ask W3 schools like what exactly jQuery, and we have a animate methods also in using with jQuery. Start animation. See,
So this is all front
hmm.
end, right? So if I were to make my own website,
Pure front end only. Pure front end only.
so to make a website like actually live and working, you would
Hmm.
need back end as well?
No, not required.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not at all required. See, I'll tell you that scenario. Okay, I'm not sure whether you understand that. Know that when you meet first session itself, I have explained, right?
Uh-huh.
To build an application, all of them are required. Front end UX is required. Of course, that is where that actual work is going to be start, right?
Mm-hmm.
UX is required, and what you say, UI development will be required, and backend development will be required, and of course database will be required. So whatever the points that I'm talking currently, these are purely related to development. And apart from development, there will be portion one more phase is like QA, quality analysis testing. In the testing also, again manual automation testing is there. And apart from this development, apart from this QA, there is a one more role who people will going to play as a DevOps engineer. DevOps in the sense, whatever the application that we built, right, they has to host it. So then once they host it, then only we can able to check. Whenever you click that, let us say example www.example.com, then you can see your entire application. So now, if to build an application, all of them are required. UX is required, from UX to till DevOps, everything is required. But what you want to be is the question.
Mm.
You want to be like a DevOps, learn DevOps skills. You want to be like a UX, learn UX. You want to be learn front end, learn front end. You want to be back end, learn back end. If you think that you can manage both of them, like front end, back end, and including database, definitely it is a possible. You can become a full stack developer,
Mm.
and the pay also will be high for sure for a full stack developer, because they can handle everything, front end and back end, and of course the database also,
Yeah.
right? But
Mm.
what is the roadmap to become a full stack developer is the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the roadmap? See, when you want to become a full stack developer, definitely you should have some a strong programming knowledge. Let us say if you are interested to Java,
Mm.
okay, you can learn Java as a backend programming language. For a database, you can learn MySQL. For a front end framework, either you can learn Angular or you can learn React.
Mm.
This is the one combination. And if you know the Python, you can learn Python as a backend language, and you can learn a MySQL is a database, and still you can learn either JavaScript or Angular. But the point what you have to understand, always there will be demand to the UI people. Why? Because when you see a backend, there will be lot of options. People can learn jQuery, sorry, people can learn Java developers, you can see .NET developers, you can see Python developers, you can see PHP developers, you can see there will be a lot of programming languages where more programming languages and developers. But when it comes to front end, there is no replace of HTML, there is no replace of CSS, there is no replace for a JavaScript. These three are must and should. But of course, I agree. On JavaScript, we may have a lot of frameworks, but you can choose. There is a replace for it. But behind the screen, you are using JavaScript only. There is no replace for it. And
Mm.
when it comes to backend, there is no rule that you have to use only Java, right? If that is the case, how many Python developers are there in the market? Then what is the point to people learn Python? What is the point to people learn PHP? What is the point people learn .NET related stuff? If you have how to if there is a rule that you have to learn only Java, right?
Yeah.
So that is the reason, always be a demand for a UI people, because there are a lot of options at the back end, but when it comes to front end, the choice is very, very, very less because you cannot replace the basic technologies.
Yeah.
This HTML and CSS JavaScript, you cannot replace it.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
No? Okay then. Chalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. So we have two more sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tomorrow I'll explain like few of the things in of course part of jQuery and JavaScript related stuff like loops and all we can discuss, and probably Friday. Meanwhile, you have a time, right? So you can also think that you can also any questions like you can make a note of it and you can ask me in tomorrow session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Friday session, no, I don't want to touch any of the subject for sure. Thing will be purely an interview basis, like what kind of questions you will get from HTML or CSS or from JavaScript related stuff. What are the
Okay.
common questions that you will get, so that we can have a nice session on Friday. So I don't want to no raise any of the points when it comes to Friday session. Okay.
Got it.
Of course, we spend a lot of time on this as we planned. More than that, only we spent. But the
Mm-hmm.
point is, you have to understand one thing. See, within the month of time, like covering that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery stuff and Bootstrap, it is not an easy.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can explain that things, but practice also need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And good thing that I found, I got a student like you, like where you have an interest to find something in the Google or maybe in the GPT, and no, learn in your own way, learn yourself.
Mm.
Okay, very less people have this quality, so that keep that keep maintain that that kind of interest towards to your career.
Yeah.
Okay,
I,
and learn things.
yeah. When I first started, I didn't think I could get it. So now, when the more I get it, the
Mm.
more I'm interested.
Okay, but now you feel, I hope that you feel definitely better when you
Yeah.
compare with the initial stage, right?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
understand the subject, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that is the reason itself, I also extended that because you explained me, already you have UX, so I don't want to miss that. So that is the reason that I spent like time on on front end technologies and architecture. I was explained to you like what exactly, and when it comes to JavaScript, I explained the scope also, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took one entire day of session of explaining the scope of JavaScript. That
Yeah.
session is very important for us. I can straight away start the JavaScript variables and all, but I don't want to do that because there will be always an option for you guys there. I know how it will be in the US.
Mm.
And I'm not sure when after you complete this session, I don't think you will straight away place it as a UA or UX person. You may go to like QA also. Who knows?
Hmm.
Very
Yeah.
less people that will be placed in their interested roles, right? But
Yeah.
even though if you go or if you place it in as a QA person, but now you understand how that application is really works, and how
Yeah.
HTML works, how CSS works, how JavaScript works, and what is that mobile application development, what is the Angular, what is the React, and what is the single page applications. All this terminology you are getting, right? You're
Yeah.
getting all this knowledge, right?
Yeah. My parents are do have done coding, so when they talk now, I can actually understand what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay then.
yeah, beneficial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've only done design, everything design. Like I know 3D design, uh, UX
Okay.
obviously.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
I want to see
But
how I can
definitely,
make.
yeah. It will be definitely an add-on to you that you can, because the point is people whoever is working on UX, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will obviously when, for example, when you are working on UX, okay, I'm a UI, so I'll come to you like hey, how can I build this UI? This is too complicated. Make it as a simple thing. But when you know the actual CSS properties and all, you can you can teach them, this is how you should do this.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is how usually things happen, and developers, front end developers thinks that UX people doesn't know anything. Simply they can add the colors and they can create the
Yeah.
box. They don't know how difficult it is, like
I've,
UI
I've
and CSS code and all.
yeah, I've seen memes where uh they're
Yes.
saying,
Yeah. Yes, yes. In the same way, backend developers also thinks in the same way about the front end developers and UX, and vice
mm,
versa will happen with front end developer to backend developers also, because nobody is interested to decrease or make their job is very low, right? They're
mm-hmm.
not that much of interested to tell them, okay, my work is very low, or I'm getting very less amount than you. Nobody will dare to do all this stuff, right? So
Yeah.
everybody feels that my job is difficult compared to you,
Mm,
right? So obviously this kind of things will come, but it's a add-on for you, so that if you place in a nice company, and they will maybe utilize in a both places, so where you can only build the once the UX. The advantage is with the UX, if you make that if you create the screens and all, definitely there will be a freeze date for them.
mm,
And now, as long as application is running, and every day you won't change anything in the UX, once it is freeze, it is freezed only.
yeah.
Yeah, once you did that, then you can focus on development part. You can sell your profile in that way. I want to I mean, I'm not only a UX person, I can write code as well. I can write HTML code, I can write CSS, I can write a bootstrap, I can code responsive, I can write media queries based on your requirement. All this stuff you can say.
But is this really enough to claim I know it? Like, don't I need to know more?
Sorry, come again.
Like, is what I know now enough to say that I can help?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. But the point is, see, it all depends on between you and interviewer, right? So whenever you're saying confidently, to all of a sudden, if they say that okay, write it down on paper or
Yeah.
what you know, then definitely it will be a problem, right, for you. Because
Yes.
why it is a problem? Because you did not spend that much of time on it.
Yeah, compared to
Yes,
others.
compared to UX thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to understand one more thing, that here you are not okay. If they say that write it, that at least you can try it out, or you can spend some time, whether you are giving right answer or wrong answer. At least you have some idea, and you don't need to learn something from the scratch now, right?
Mm, mm,
Just imagine you have only UX skills and you don't know anything about HTML and CSS, but still you are explaining them, and I can do something in HTML, I can do something in CSS. That compare that state of mind and now your state of mind,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you are confident, that definitely they will ask you questions, or they will give some tests to you.
Mm,
And yeah, you don't have any other option. You have to practice it.
okay.
But decide yourself first. If you want
Mm,
to go with UI and UX along with the front end development, just only focus on it. Or if you want to go with like Angular or JavaScript developer or React, then it will be very difficult for you to handle both of them, because both there is no relation between them. Completely
mm,
Angular or React integration is completely different from the UX part.
mm.
But when you are doing the UI UX and HTML CSS development is not completely different. They are codependent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first you decide yourself whether you go with that way or this way. But when once you decide with that option, no, then you can strictly stick to only that one option.
Okay.
But I trust you that you won't go with the development way until unless there is a separate scenario,
Mm,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Chalo then.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
No problem.